This is Reidsville Chamber of Commerce News and Views, a business resource show with a focus on enhancing the business environment through advocacy, mentoring, and education in an effort to promote economic growth. The Reidsville Chamber of Commerce is a membership organization in North Carolina, working on behalf of its members for the betterment of the community. With Chamber of Commerce News and Views you can use, here's Chamber President Diane Sawyer.
Welcome to the Reidsville Chamber of Commerce News and Views show. I'm your host and president of the Reidsville Chamber of Commerce and Visitor Center, Diane Sawyer. We have a very special guest with us today, Lyle Milligan with the Reidsville Kiwanis Club. Welcome to the show, Lyle.
Well, thank you for having me. We're excited to be here.
Well, we are very excited to hear about all the things that you guys have coming up, including a very special celebration next year. So tell us a little bit about the Reidsville Kiwanis, the history, and kind of how all that got started here in Reidsville.
Well, I wasn't here when it started because next year we'll be celebrating our 100th anniversary as a Kiwanis Club in Reidsville. The Kiwanis International is, I think, about 105 years old now. And so we've been able to enjoy that celebration a few years ago. I think we were in Indiana at the time with that particular international convention. But Kiwanis is been around for a really long time. And in the early years, they started out as like a business to business type of an organization. And then they found themselves helping the community in different ways, and mostly helping children. So after about 5 years in 1919, they decided that they would be a service club. And that's what we are today. And so we're excited about all the different things that we're able to do. Most of the money that we raise goes right back into our local community. There's a small amount of our dues. It takes $130 to join. And then it's $50 a quarter just to kind of take care of the things that we have to take care of as administratively. But we do raise money through several different things that we'll talk about in a minute. And in the meantime, that money that we collect through our fundraising efforts goes 100% back into our local communities. The dues are what helps take care of the international work that we do. And one of those things that I think has been most exciting is a few years ago, Kiwanis teamed up with UNICEF and decided that they needed to rid the world of iodine deficiency. And they went to work, and I think it took about 10 years. And there are now no countries or children in the world that have iodine deficiency. And then, so the next project after that, they got together and decided that they would work on neonatal tetanus. And in a lot of countries, children are born under circumstances that are not the healthiest. And maybe they use a knife or whatever they can get a hold of to cut that umbilical cord when the child is born. And of course, tetanus sets in very quickly on many of those children. And that's a horrible, horrible thing to have to endure. And UNICEF again and Kiwanis has gotten together, and I think there's like 6 countries to go where it'll be completely eliminated. Part of the difficulty is that the vaccine has to be kept at a low temperature. And so if you're in sub-Saharan Africa and you need this vaccine, they have to have special bicycles that have a generator that can continue to keep those cool. But it's exciting. When we were doing most of the work with that, $1.80 would protect a mother and all of her children, and regardless of whether it was here or anywhere. And so now we're really close to eliminating maternal neonatal tetanus around the world. And I have no idea what the next project would be. So those are noble things to do. But the other thing is that locally we do a lot of things as well. We have a list of probably 30 or 40 organizations that we do. We do scholarships. We do a terrific kids program. We provide clothes. We provide food. Just a lot of different things that we're able to do in the area. We work with Rolling Ridge and a lot of different places that we're able to help. We support a key club at Rockingham, which is on not meeting right now, I believe, because they're out of school. We also support a key club at Reidsville High School that we're looking forward to renewing that and getting that back up. And that develops leadership in our high school students. We also give scholarships for those young people so that they can get into college a little bit better and help with the finances of that.
Let's talk specifically about a couple of those projects. So I know, let's talk about Rolling Ridge and why that's important. I've heard that presentation and it's really phenomenal.
Yeah, Rolling Ridge is so unique, I think, at least for me. I was not familiar that riding a horse could be that good for you if you have a disability. And some children actually can learn to walk as a result of being on a horse for a given number of days or months or however long it takes. But the folks at Rolling Ridge, their heart is just all about that, and is a tremendous opportunity for kids that have all kinds of difficulties, from emotional to physical difficulties. And those horses make a huge difference for them. And with us being, we do a picnic. We also support them some financially. One of the young men that we help support as an Eagle Scout built a place where the young people could get up onto the horse off of a platform instead of having to be lifted or pulled up in a stirrup type situation. So it's just tremendous, the opportunity that and the change that we see in young people because of that. And when we have the picnic, many of the parents come by and just thank us for the work that we do to help them do that. And again, ours is not so much the hands-on as it is raising some money and getting it to them to help offset some of those expenses that they use.
That's one of my favorites, I think. Also because I think I know personally some folks who go to Rolling Ridge.
Right.
But Camp Carefree is another one. Tell us about that and what you guys do with them.
Well, again, all summer long with Camp Carefree, they have a different group that comes in with specific difficulties for young people and even adults. And we usually, I say usually, we didn't this year, of course, because of the pandemic, but we usually are able to take a dinner out there and entertain the kids for a little bit, and all the workers as well, because it takes a large staff to handle that camp. And it gives those kids a chance to experience camp. I remember growing up, that was an unusual thing for me to go to a camp. And my brother and I would actually have to switch years because my parents couldn't afford to send us both at the same time. But I remember those days. I mean, learning to swim, being out there, enjoying, it was Camp Aqua in Ohio. But anyhow, Camp Carefree here gives children, even if they have some disabilities, the opportunity to experience that. And I think it's life-changing.
I would agree with that. And you know, you mentioned clothes. The shoe project is another one that I think is amazing. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, we call that the Shoes for Kids, and it usually happens around Christmas time. And we have the school counselors select 2 or 3 children from their school who they feel need shoes the most. And then we fund that. We take them to shoe show, and they're able, with the help of their teachers, to pick out their own shoes. And sometimes there's a little extra. They can get some socks or something extra with that. And again, that's part of what we do from our fundraising, is to help support that, so that these young people then are able, in the elementary schools all across Rockingham County, are able to get shoes right at Thanksgiving, Christmas time, because a lot of times the shoes they've had are pretty well worn. And so it gives us a real opportunity. And to see the uncertainty, I guess would be a good way to call it, when the kids first come into shoe show and all those shoes are everywhere, and then they get to go and look and see what they want, and are pretty much able to get anything they want there. And to see that smile on their face when they get those shoes on, I don't know of any that actually wear their old shoes back out. The old shoes go in the box, their new shoes are on their feet, and they're just skipping on out the door. So it's a great experience to see that happen each year.
I don't think sometimes that people understand the impact of very small things. I remember as a child not having like the name brand shoes, or I had shoes, right, and I had shoes that my parents knew were appropriate and fit and whatever, but it doesn't mean that the kids thought they were appropriate. So I had very young parents, and then my mom was going through nursing school when I was young, and so things were tight, and shoes were not something that we splurged on. So the impact that has and the things that you remember, I think that's why the shoe project is so important to me, because I know shoes are a big deal. Like, your feet carry you everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So how they're covered is a big deal.
Absolutely.
And so I'm so glad. I know that I keep asking about like individual projects, but I want the impact heard for the things that you're doing. So we talk about these fundraisers and the need to support. So the pandemic has put quite a hampering on civic clubs and nonprofits. And that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, because our nonprofits are hurting in Rockingham County. We've not been able to have events. We haven't been able to do fundraisers, at least not in the same way.
Right.
And a lot of these nonprofits are people who turn right around and give that money right back to the community, whether it's children or families or pregnant women or cancer, survivors or cancer patients. So, we really want to focus on why, so that we can talk about the fundraisers and how they're important. So tell us, tell us about how you can be a part of this, or tell us about these fundraisers that are coming up.
Sure. Well, the first thing is that we appreciate anybody who wants to come and just help us. You don't have to be a member to flip pancakes and those kind of things, but it's obviously put together by our membership. Our pancake supper this year is going to be our 62nd annual pancake supper. And so that's been going on for a long time. We've rented the high school for years and years and years. Obviously, when the pandemic came and they closed the schools, we had to figure something else out. And Main Street United Methodist Church, their pastor is actually a member of our club, Joe Tarpley. And Joe worked it out through his church, and we were able to have a drive-through pancake supper there on last fall. And then we wanted to get back on schedule with that. So on March 26th, we will also do our 2021 pancake supper at from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. It'll also be a drive-through only, and we'll be at Main Street Methodist Church again as a drive-through through their little portico there. And we have lots of help coming, and we're looking forward to that. And our goal is to serve 500 meals that evening, and it's $8 a ticket for adults, and young people and 10 and under, we'll let them have a box for $3. So again, it's not extremely expensive, and yet when we can put that all together, we're able to raise enough money to help us support some of the other things that we do. We have many people who sponsor our pancake supper as well as our golf tournament. That's our two primary fundraisers each year. And sponsorship gets you a golfer or two and so many pancake tickets, and all of that comes together. And then your sponsorship money is used as well. Again, not for expenses, but to go towards the work that we do with the children in each community. So we're looking forward to, the Pancake Supper has been a big social event here in Reidsville for all those years. Now you just kind of drive through and get a box with some food in it, but hopefully we'll be able to get our vaccinations or whatever else we need. And by next year, we would like to have an in-person meeting again where we can have it as a social event, and then it'll be all you can eat again. And right now it's whatever you get in the box. So, but we're looking forward to the all you can eat pancake supper again.
Well, I think it is amazing. And I don't know if it's because you can only get them one time a year, but I swear it's the best pancakes we ever eat.
We have that comment a lot. And I guess it's the love in our hearts when we mix the batter that makes that work like that. But I agree, they're great. I like them.
I do too. I do too. And I had never participated in a pancake supper and had pancakes for dinner. I had had them for lunch. I had had them for lunch with another Kiwanis club. They do an all-day event, and we would have them for lunch. But I'd never had them for dinner, and I have to admit, it's probably one of my favorite things. So I was very sad, but I'm really excited that y'all have been able to work it out, because it's important to raise that money to give back and to do the things with the kids. So
absolutely, yeah, that was one of our main concerns this year, Diane, was to whether, if we had to choose which program to support because we didn't have the money, we were really fearing having to do that. And fortunately, we've had great sponsorships of these events, and we've had the money come in, and we've been able to support everything that we've supported in the past. So we're excited about that and anticipate that we will be able to do that again this year.
Well, that is wonderful news to hear. So tell us about the other things. Tell us about golf and how that's working.
Sure. Each year we use Monroeton for our golf tournament, and it's gone up and down. There were years when we'd give away a Harley Davidson. We'd raffle that off, and we're not doing that right now. But and NASCAR used to come and be there and meet a driver and see a car and all of those things. Some of that's fallen by the wayside, but we still are excited that we can get together, have a great time playing golf. Like I say, this year, that'll be this on October 2nd, which is the first Saturday in October, and it'll be $55 to come and play golf. Obviously, it doesn't cost $55 to play golf at Monroeton, but the difference that we pay them for that Saturday morning is what helps us support a lot of the things that we do with our fundraising efforts here. It is a fundraiser, and that's why that works. Next year, it will be our 100th anniversary, like I've already mentioned, and we're planning on having 100 golfers with a $100,000 hole-in-one. And so we'll have the opportunity to put your name in a hat. We'll draw out 4 people, and then they'll be able to shoot on hole number 18 for a hole-in-one, and we'll be able to give away $100,000 to the winner of that. So we're really looking forward to that, and looking forward to a good tournament this year. We've already got our, like I say, our date set, and our sponsors are coming in, and we're looking forward to the good time that we're going to have even this year as we have our golf tournament. So that's our 2 major fundraisers. We do a paper drive as well. And last year we had a silent auction, and so we do a couple little things along the way. And if somebody's got a great idea, we'll try it. And we're, again, not just because we love to just run out and knock on everybody's door and say we need your money, but because we love to see the smiles on those kids' faces when we are able to do something for them.
I think that the smiles on the kids' faces is probably my favorite thing of any of the things that I've ever been involved in my past career work and in my current career. And it's one of the things that makes me most happy. And then becoming a parent, I think even more so, you know, it makes you understand the value of somebody giving you their time or their money related to your children or somebody else's children. Like, it's just this huge warming process. I think that your body and your mind and your heart and your soul it just grabs you, and you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of, it's so touching. And I love all of our community efforts around taking care of our children and our students and our families. And I'm so happy to be able to spread the word about it. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for, the Kiwanis, and the opportunities that you give other folks to serve, because service is so important. And in business, it's important.
It
And
is.
giving back and being a part. So we really appreciate, what the efforts that you all put in.
And we're excited about it. And to give that, let me put it to share that opportunity with other people, and to enjoy the way that you are able to just have great fellowship and camaraderie while you're making the pancakes, or while you're waiting on the kids to get their shoes, or while you're ringing the bell for Salvation Army, or whatever the other things are that we do to help the children in the community. When we're able to present to a student a scholarship to wherever they're going to college, and know that that's going to be a big help to them and to their families, because it's not cheap when you go to school. So those opportunities are just very exciting and very, very rewarding personally, in order to be able to do that. So I agree 1,000% with you, and to have a club that focuses on that, is what I really like. And we have just a great group of people that love to do that, and a great group of people that enjoy each other as well as enjoy serving our community.
I agree. And I think the social aspect, while it's fun, it just creates that bond and that everything about what we're trying to do, that community feeling. And
Absolutely.
so I miss that. I miss the meals where we could share and be together. So I'm hoping, right, fingers crossed, vaccinations and herd immunity and low numbers and all that stuff.
Well, we have actually begun meeting in person at, again, Main Street United Methodist Church. We Zoom that meeting as well for those that still are uncomfortable being in a mixed setting like that. We do keep our social distance, and we have, well, last week, because of the weather, we didn't meet, but this week we're planning to, if you want to come and eat with us for $7, you can get your choice of a sandwich from Dave over at Cafe 99. We'll have it there for you and furnish you with a drink, and then we'll have a good time together in person as well as over our Zoom call. So we are doing that. When we can get back to whatever normal will be, we will be excited about finding a place that we can meet and again, just gather together and chat over lunch. We do meet every week at noon and on Thursdays, and plan that. We usually eat for 30 minutes and then talk for 30 minutes. So it's a 1 hour deal, but that kind of keeps us all headed the same direction, and we're excited about that.
Well, I am excited for you all that things are headed in that direction and that you've been able to plan things and get them back where they need to be. So I don't know anybody who's tried harder to make things work, Lyle. You have done a phenomenal job in trying to push things forward and figure them out and get it to work. So kudos to you on that.
Well, thank you. We have a board that helps with that. Trust me. There's what's that word? Synergy, I think. I can come up with something on my own, but it's always so much better when you got help. And we have a great board of directors that help us with that. And so I will let them know that you appreciate it.
Well, is there anything else you want to add? We have a little bit more time. Just wanted to see if we have covered everything, or.
Well, I'd just again like to emphasize that we're always looking for new members to come and help us do these events and come and eat with us and all of that. We used to kind of furnish the meal, but that made our dues higher. So because of the pandemic, our dues have come down to $50 a quarter And before they were, I think, $110. So it's a little better than a half price break on that. And then there's a one-time fee of $130, which covers your first quarter and all the international dues that you have for a year. So, and once that's done, then it's only $50 a quarter after that. And so it's not expensive to be a part of Kiwanis, and yet the rewards are tremendous in the way that we're able to help the kids in our community.
I would agree. So, well, I just wanted to say thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. We have a good discussion, and we've been able to talk a little bit about the club, but also just our community in general. So thank you for what you do, and we appreciate you. And hopefully we will see you soon at pancake breakfast,
Well,
supper,
thank you for
dinner, lunch, whatever you want to call it.
whatever
right?
it is, right?
If it's, for my third shift mama, it's breakfast. So I guess I think about those hospital workers coming through and other people
Absolutely.
grabbing that stuff. So pancake supper on Friday, the March 26th. So
That's correct.
very excited about that.
4 to 7. And,
4 to 7 at Main Street.
Correct. Main Street Methodist Church. And,
Yes.
And we appreciate you having us on, Diane. Thank you for doing that. I think the Chamber's doing a great job in our community. And again, for opportunities like this, as you know, we're a member of the Chamber as Kiwanis, and that's important to us. We want to be a part of the community, and we know the good work that you do.
Thank you so much for saying that, Lyle. It has been a very hard road, I think, for everybody, and we're just trying to find our way. So
I understand.
thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's it, everybody, for our Reidsville Chamber of Commerce News and Views show. You can find us at 140 South Scale Street in the heart of downtown Reidsville. You can contact us at 336-349-8481. Like us on Facebook. We also have a visitor center and a Reidsville area restaurants, and we have added Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So check us out, and we will see you all soon. Thanks, and have a great time, and we'll see you next time.